And welcome to episode 11 of the Backdoor Cut podcast. We've got Jamie, Rico. Amy, say hi.
What's up?
Nelson, Espinal, say hi.
Hi.
And TJ, you don't get to say hi.
Hello.
I'm just playing. Say hi, TJ.
Hey guys.
TJ just had a birthday. He just turned 21, and he's been drunk almost every day since.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm just playing. All right, guys. Well, how have you guys been? Jamie, I know that you've had that project. So.
I've been dying.
Did you finish it?
Mostly. Doesn't work 100%.
I thought it was due.
I mean, I turned it in. Doesn't quite work.
Oh man, that sounds like not this past weekend, but the previous weekend, the Easter weekend.
Yeah.
I sent in a paper 3.5 hours, or I sent it on Saturday. It was due on Sunday, so I was good. Well, I checked 3.5 hours before everything was due, and it didn't send, and it was computer code. So I had 3.5 hours to do a paper. I got a 93% on it though, so I'm good.
Hey.
Yeah. Nelson, how are you? Other than pissed at us because we're making you Dodgers.
I've been pretty good. I'd say. A lot of homework, but surviving.
You haven't been doing homework. You've been doing articles.
Don't tell my mom that.
Nelson, we have to go. Mom, I got to do homework.
That's actually my excuse to watch late.
Nice. TJ, happy birthday from everyone. And how has it been?
I mean, I feel the same. So not much going on.
That's usually the case.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
All right, let's, I guess, get into it all. Everyone's been still talking about the stupid mess between D'Angelo and Nick. Let's try and keep this to a minimum because it seems to be dying down, but as Nelson said the other day, if we didn't talk about it, we would be doing a disservice. So what do you guys make of the whole situation? Nelson, you first.
It's just been terrible. Like the mistreatment of D'Angelo has been just terrible. I mean, I've been a fan since Ohio State, and I've always supported the kid. I know he wasn't a bad kid or anything, so to see him be put out like that, even though Nick Young is really the villain, and D'Angelo still did something wrong, but I mean, it wasn't as bad as everyone's saying it is. And to see him and like all the ESPN, they would just get bagging on him. His reputation is gonna, I mean, in a general sense, it's gonna need to be repaired a bit.
Yeah, I agree. TJ, what do you think?
Yeah, same thing, man. It's sad to see him like that. See him sad on national television on ESPN. Yeah, I think obviously he made a mistake of even recording the video, but I mean, again, it's Nick Young. I don't know. It's just an issue that the two of them have to resolve.
Which doesn't seem like that's going to happen with his subtweets and then deletes like he's the 20-year-old and D'Angelo's the 30-year-old.
I mean, we're not going to talk about how he was 30 and apparently got with a 19-year-old.
Yep.
I mean,
while engaged,
and that's the thing. Like, he was engaged. Like, he's engaged to marry someone, and that does mean that at this point you're essentially married. Like this isn't just like you're going out on dates every once in a while. You're engaged. Like you're wanting to spend the rest of your life together with this person, and people were blaming D'Angelo for possibly ruining
their.
Like, Nick did a pretty damn good job of that himself by cheating. So, Jamie, you had a lot to say about this. So, how about you talk about it real quick?
I mean, most of what I was saying was just I wasn't defending Russell more as not absolving Nick Young of blame, because Nick Young doesn't cheat, none of it ever happens. That's
Yeah.
the simple solution to it all. I don't know. I just feel like how Nick Young somehow became the victim in all of it when he was far from the victim.
When Iggy was the victim. Like,
Yeah, Iggy was the victim, not Nick Young.
Say what you want about her music. I know people can't stand her, like, or her career, whatever you want, but like, she's the one that got royally screwed over on this, you know. But how many people did you end up having to block on Twitter, and TJ, you on Instagram?
Instagram is ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, at least 20 on Twitter.
No, I said there was like 100 that day. Let me see how many comments I have still from that post.
I mean, seriously, like, people snitching is snitching.
The
which
worst thing that you can do. Worse than murder.
Apparently.
Or anything.
I know, like, and Jeff Van Gundy last night, man.
Oh my God.
Like, he's saying that he should have been suspended because he hurt the team, like, detrimentally.
Yeah.
Like,
really, he helped the team because they'll probably get rid of Nick Young now.
Exactly, and Lou might be out with him too.
Yeah.
So, do you guys really want to talk any more about that? Like,
Well, something Byron said. He said it's not related to this, but Mark Medina came out with an article today, and that said Byron said Nick Young is not here with us mentally.
Yep.
Not sure what that means, but he said it has nothing to do with Russell, apparently.
yeah, probably because Iggy's trying to, you know, end
Kill
the
him.
engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he's not on the couch. Like, he's in a whole different, like, he's at a hotel now, I'm sure, if they were living together. I mean, this I want to say it was I can't remember her name. Someone on Twitter. She said this right here was a very good way of determining if the person you were with is good for you or not. If you said if they sided with Nick on that one, then you should probably bolt.
Yeah.
You know, like am I? I'm not wrong on that. And Jamie, you kept messaging us when the whole thing kept going on. Like, am I wrong about this? Like, is it? And we're like, no. Like, he cheated on her. Like, how difficult is that? And then and apparently, Jamie is part of a cult.
Yeah, part of the D'Angelo Russell cult.
Apparently, Jamie is a hoe. That one I don't get. Like, you're a hoe because you're defending him. Like, probably because that dude was cheating on his girlfriend right then and there.
That came from a girl too. Like,
wait, was it a girl? I couldn't tell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I could not.
I feel like she should be on Iggy's side, but I guess not.
I don't get it. Like, it kind of. I don't. Obviously, it's just people were flipping out about it. You know, like, he's going to have to be traded. No, he's not. No, you trade the 30-year-old.
Yeah, they were saying he's the cancer of the team now.
Yeah.
My word. And if anyone really, really honestly thought that, then you're stupid. Like, I don't want to get into, like, any worse insult than that, because, I mean, you're just dumb. Like, go ask your girlfriend or your significant other and say, hey, if I cheated on you, would I be in fault if you found out through a friend?
Yeah.
I mean, Nelson, like, I graduated high school now, like, holy word.
22 years ago?
No, like 8 or 9. I graduated, oh my word, it's 9 years ago now. This is disgusting. But, like, in high school when I was going then, like that one, it would have been the same case, right? I mean, how is it? Is it different in high school now? Like, did people in high school back D'Angelo or Nick or what? Or did you just not talk about it?
I mean, each person has their own side to the story, and they each have their own friends that back them up. But usually the victim's the girl, and the guy is usually the guy that gets bagged on. That's what made it so shocking to me, that Nick was somehow the victim because he got caught saying that he cheated on someone, In fact, I think D'Angelo should be applauded more for that because I mean, you don't reveal dirty laundry from what happens outside of the court, but I mean, it was still a good deed nonetheless because now Iggy knows and now they can settle that the way that they are. Because if not, he could have kept cheating and cheating and cheating, and she could have, it could have gotten much uglier than it is already, and maybe he just ended it the right way.
Like he could have cheated with someone that was like tested dirty with something, and she could have caught it.
Yeah.
You know, I do real quick want to pause and say, Nelson, even though we disagree on prospects from time to time, like you are the way that you handled with the Jordan Clarkson thing, and the Nick Young thing on our last podcast, and what you're saying right now. I have to say that I'm proud of you. That sounds weird. Whatever. I'm sorry, but like, it's just it's cool seeing like.
It's refreshing.
You know. Yeah. Oh my word! It's so refreshing. I work at a school, right? I work with special needs children, and on the other side of campus is high schoolers, and oh my word, I just want to strangle them sometimes. But you know, it just I don't want it to be weird, but I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. TJ, do you think this at all will affect free agency?
I don't believe so. I think it's something that'll be forgotten in the near future, so I don't think it's going to affect how a player wants to come for a team for the next 5 or 10 years and try to win a championship because one thing happened on accident. It should be forgotten hopefully soon.
Yeah, it already seems to calm down for the most part. Like we were saying, right?
Not even a week, and it does get talked about hardly ever.
Yeah.
I know. Like, oh my word. People, no, this is the worst thing to happen in the NBA in years. What? Like,
yeah.
What? I don't know. Nelson, do you think this affects free agency?
I think it might a little bit, like just a tad. I think it's not going to be exaggerated, like it's not going to be a deal breaker, but I think, like reading all the comments that the current players made, and I know a couple of rookies back D'Angelo because they know him from experience, but the rest of them, they all bagged on him for what he did. And I think even though it's not fair, I think it will have some sort of effect, but that shouldn't be a reason that they trade him. Like they were saying, like I heard podcast over podcast saying that they should trade D'Angelo if it turns out that he leaked it or something. Like at this point, it doesn't even matter. Like you don't trade a young centerpiece for nothing. Like you don't trade him for Jahlil Okafor, and then Jahlil Okafor is what, like a good player, okay player with no defense. I mean that Al Jefferson, you don't want to do that.
How many times did you guys see that this past week? The TR for Okafor.
Oh God.
Too many.
I follow the wrong people.
They passed on Jahlil for a reason.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's been bad. Not like he's been playing well either.
Bad. And he's lucky that he doesn't have an assault case after him.
How is D'Angelo's case worse than knocking out someone in a wherever he was, Boston bar?
Yeah. Like he knocked out 2 people, didn't he? And one of them was bleeding on the concrete.
Yeah.
He's lucky that he isn't like in jail right now.
Yeah. But he was caught speeding twice.
Can't even move.
Yeah, caught speeding at excessive speed.
It's because Russell's in LA. If they were switched, this Russell thing would have gotten almost no news, and the Okafor thing would have blown up.
Yeah, it's incredible. And Marcus Morris is never going to watch this, ever. But Marcus Morris from Detroit, shut up. Like, I would punch him in the face. I think he said that, or I would never talk to him. You have an assault case after you too. Like you were traded because you're a cancer. Shut up. Like, idiots. Like, why?
And another thing. D'Angelo Russell has always been very mature about everything. About when he got drafted, he was 19, and I remember watching his first interview with Mike Trudell, and I mean, everyone was saying it looks like he's like a man doing this interview. How good he was, and I mean, I think he's super mature for his age, but for something like this to happen, it's just hopefully like a one-time thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just being 20 and hanging out with Nick Young.
And they said they did that often with each other.
Yeah, they do it often. They record and they watch on planes.
So what people were saying is D'Angelo probably sent it to one of his close friends or something, who might have leaked it or something. But it sounded like they took videos of each other all the time, doing dumb stuff or just hanging out.
Yeah. Jamie, back to the original question. Do you think this is going to affect free agency at all?
Not at all. I mean, it's already basically a non-story. It'll be forgotten before the playoffs even start.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys see the new Backdoor article about where he was at the Chevy dealership, and fans were coming out and and encouraging him and everything?
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's because that people recognize the talent.
And also, he's just a likable person, so it's easy to get over those things.
Yeah. The thing that never seemed to get brought up, and if it did get brought up, people just kind of threw it by the wayside, was the whole Kobe ratted on Shaq back in, 2003?
Yeah.
2004? Kobe was not the best player in the NBA back then.
Man.
I don't know how many times I saw people either tweeting that at TJ or I just saw around.
Yep.
Kobe was not the best. Shaq was still the best player on that team.
Yep.
Okay? Like, I love Kobe, but Shaq was the best player on that team. It wasn't even close. He did the same thing. And Kobe at the time Kobe wasn't 20. Kobe had already been in the league. He was drafted, 96?
96.
Correct?
Yeah, he was 25 or so.
Yeah.
He wasn't a likable personality. And
No. And then the following year, or that it wasn't even the same
summer.
year that summer, Kobe got charged with rape. Like, but he gets a pass. I just people won't remember. That's the thing. People won't remember
if he plays.
You might have,
especially.
Yeah.
Which he hasn't.
No, but we'll get into the Boston game here in a minute. Where was I going with that? I can't remember. Whatever. People forget. I forget a lot of things. Clearly. All right, let's get back into the Boston game. How you just brought up play. I want them to win every time they play Boston. I did not think that they were going to beat Boston, just because I was being realistic. But
made it interesting.
It was. I do have to say that was not vintage Kobe though. I'm sorry. He scored a lot of points.
He was shooting every time he got the ball. And
dude, TJ.
So it was vintage Kobe, as in it was his 2005 Kobe.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, D'Angelo even gave a quote as of saying Kobe telling him to give him the ball.
Yeah.
So I don't want this to turn into a bag on Kobe, but that was not vintage Kobe, and he really didn't play all that well. He had a couple gambles on defense that led to that dunk that he had that he probably tore his labrum even more.
It's definitely tore now.
But he was 9 for 24, 9 for 25, something like that.
So he had a bunch of shots go toilet bowl around the rim or halfway down.
I know, and they were just vintage Kobe. I'm like, Kobe dunked on people. He didn't just barely get by people. The vintageness was the scoring, but he did it inefficiently. 9 for 24, I think it was. I can look it up.
That one fadeaway shot though, he was fading left
into the baseline.
Yeah, into the baseline. That one was ridiculous.
That's just the Kobe/Jordan shot. Yeah. I just remember Jordan doing that too. Maybe that's just my childhood, but I don't know. What did you think of the young guys last night, Nelson? Did you get to watch?
No, I was too busy writing my Dodgers review. But from what I heard, that they did okay. I heard that Julius had a good game. He went 20 and 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he almost didn't get it because Byron held him out for a good long while.
Yeah. But I mean, I my problem with this has always been scoring, which I know Jamie, we had our argument about that. But I mean, I I don't buy him as a good scorer. Like I think he can maybe put up 10, 12 points. That's what we seen him put up, and I don't know if he can put up like the scoring numbers to back up like multiple All-Star appearances. Like I mean, he'll get the boards, and I'm pretty sure that his assist numbers will go up as his vision clears up because he still has a bit of tunnel vision. But I think my main problem with him is scoring and playing more in control. That's what I really want to see.
Jamie?
Well, I only saw the first half, and then I'm an old man, so I went to bed.
Kobe was 11 for 28. Sorry, 11 for 28.
That's bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Russell struggled a bit with some. He had some really, really bad passes, but a couple of his turnovers were mishandles by the receiver that he ended up getting the turnover for. His shots completely left him for a couple weeks now. Nowhere to be found. Clarkson was decent offensively from what I can remember, but let Isaiah Thomas go off in the second quarter for like 12 straight points or something he scored for the Celtics.
He had 22 points in 14 minutes at one point.
Yeah.
Clarkson wasn't much better on the night as a whole. D'Angelo was 4 for 14, and Clarkson was 6 for 16. Yeah.
Randall's the heart of the team. I feel like the only reason they made their run in the second half was because Randall had 2 or 3 hustle plays in a row where the Lakers missed one and the ball was kind of getting batted around, and he got it over like 4 different Celtics players and then got to put back for some points. Had a couple plays like that turned the game around when the Lakers were down by like 16 or something that led to the like 22-4 run or whatever that they went on between the second and third quarter. Mostly due to Randall there in the end of the first half.
Yeah, I think D'Angelo is just like you said. He's been off. He had 6 turnovers on the night. I would say really 4 of those were his fault.
Not in the second half, though, right?
I think he had 1.
I think he had 1. Yeah. He had 1 to Nance that Nance just he couldn't. It touched his hands, but then he didn't expect it or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, come on, NBA.com. So that was more on Nance, and then he had one where he hit Black. I'm pretty sure dead in the hand, and Black just. So I mean, 4 turnovers, and I'm not really gonna go crazy on the turnovers because if he's trying to push. If he's trying to push, and I understand he looked ugly at times, He had I think 2 or 3 possessions where it was like a couple really bad turnovers.
Yeah, he threw one just straight into the stands. There's nobody anywhere near him.
It was so bad.
Yeah, that one was ugly. But I will take that over, especially since a lot of those turnovers, I believe. I think Anthony Irwin said this on their podcast last night. I don't think his turnovers turn into a lot of points, though.
Right.
So if you're going to turn it over and it's not going to lead to points, I'm okay with it. Well, not okay, but you guys know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not as bad. What was bad was Clarkson's defense. That was atrocious.
It's really becoming a problem.
Yeah, and what people aren't realizing is, yes, he has the tools. He's probably an elite athlete. He is incredibly quick. He's fast. He can jump. He can do whatever. His head, though, it's just not there. On defense. Like
he gives good initial effort. It's on a counter move, or if he has to guard for longer than 5 or 6 seconds, that's when he gets beat.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't remember him at Missouri very much.
Me neither.
And he didn't play a ton last year. So I don't know if it's just because he hasn't been coached properly or if he doesn't have basketball IQ on defense.
Yep.
He obviously has some form of basketball IQ on offense.
Yeah.
But it's so bad on D. If he cannot improve, then he is a six man.
He's a six man. Yeah, that's the difference between him starting and being a six man.
Yeah.
If he can't become at like here's average, and he's not at least right below it, like he's a six man. He needs to at least be average, in my opinion, to be a starter or a valuable piece on a team that you think is going to compete for a title.
Yep.
But it's just not there. It's just, I mean, I have said that I want Luke Walton very badly as the head coach next year. I don't know though if just how bad their defense is should mean that they should go heavy after Tibbs. I
doubt it, but I wonder if Tibbs doesn't get a head coaching job, if he would sign like a 1-year assistant.
Oh, he'll be a head coach. He'll be a head coach.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bulls will bring him back.
Yeah, maybe it's to appease Jimmy Butler. Guys, didn't you know Jimmy Butler's getting traded?
No, he's not. Not a chance.
But Jamie, you never know the context. If Chicago really decides to trade Jimmy Butler, then everyone needs to be gone.
Yeah, including the front office.
Yeah, including. Well, I mean, who's their owner? Is it Jerry Krause?
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's him. If that's the case, and he really likes Fred Hoiberg that much, then you need to sell the team. Like, it's
Jerry
bad.
Reinsdorf.
Oh, okay. Then who is Krause? Maybe is the president of basketball operations or something. I don't know. Krause. He sounds familiar.
Yeah, he does. Sound familiar to me too.
I saw it online, or someone that's a Bulls fan, just a few minutes before we got on.
General manager.
Then what's Gar Forman? Basketball of operations or John Paxton? Whatever. They're crazy. Jimmy Butler's not getting traded, okay? And we don't have the pieces to trade for him. Problem solved.
And other teams have better pieces, like the Celtics. I've had so much Celtics envy last week, and I hate it.
I know. Like, people don't understand how great a position the Celtics are in. Like, not only do they have the third most cap space this summer, which is frightening in my opinion, because that could be potentially a Whiteside
sign a superstar and then dump picks for another superstar, and then sign a near superstar.
Yeah, the thing is, they have so many picks and they have so many young guys.
Like, I know.
Guards.
I know, and they're gonna have to let some of those guys walk. Yep. In my opinion.
And they also have that coaching. They can tell that they have a top 5 coach in the league.
I'm still saying we need to. When's the next time Stevens is going to be in?
I thought he'd just sign an extension.
No. I mean, we're going to kidnap him.
When's the next time he'll be in LA?
Yeah. I mean, they probably already left, so.
Yeah, he's got 4 more years with the Celtics.
Damn it. I mean, that wasn't really a viable option anyways. But yeah, I do want to say, though, Nelson, you brought up scoring for Randall. If you look at his shot chart, which NBA.com is wanting to be a real jerk with me right about now.
Is his shot chart safe for work?
No, it's very bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Like it's pretty bad. Let's go. Here we go. I think almost the entire shot chart on NBA.com is red, which is definitely that is not safe for work at all. Let me see. Coming up right now. Sorry, my internet is acting up for some reason. I'm probably lagging behind all you guys. Okay, so in the paint, he is 51.2%, which is technically average. The league average is 55.4%. Okay, so anywhere within, I want to say 12 to 15 feet, that's 25%, 38%, and 12.5%, and but the funny thing is his free throw percentage is 70%, and
right, and he was a good shooter in high school. That's why I think he'll be fine eventually.
Yeah, I don't know if his threes will ever be great.
No.
He does have the left side above the break, 44.4%. That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, I still say he should shoot more threes if he's wide open at it. Nance too, but that's that. Going to that, my point is he is shooting so bad in a lot of areas that it should go up, and you generally see a big jump in from the rookie to the sophomore year.
Yeah.
Like, look at JC and his 3-point percentage. He was 31% last year, right? And I think he's at 37% right now.
And that stayed for the most part. I've been waiting for the regression, but
yeah, he had, after he rolled the ankle, it went away for a little while, but he came back, especially when D'Angelo's on the floor, which is always funny to me when a player can shoot so well from deep with just one player on the floor. I don't quite understand that
probably
one,
just
but
knows where he likes to receive the pass or something.
Yeah, and gravity too.
Yeah.
I don't know if gravity, I mean, like, people go to D'Angelo instead of Jordan. I don't know. Just for people that are watching. Will he ever be as efficient as Simmons? Maybe. Maybe not. But there are positives to both, and there are negatives to both. You know?
There's some positives for Randall's shot chart.
Yeah.
It's a lot of red the last 15 games.
Look at you. I have no idea how you do that.
I just found it. I don't know if y'all can see that, but
Yeah.
That's his last 15 games?
last 15 games, a lot of red, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, but the yellow, he's at least a league average in the middle. He's got the left side, but
look at you, Jamie.
that computer science degree is really coming in handy.
Finally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll come. You know, it's technically his second year in the league, but it really isn't because he played 14 minutes last year, and he's had a lot of issues. The whole system is just terrible. You put Ben Simmons in this series, and he would shoot better. I think. I'm not going to say for sure.
Yeah.
I believe that he would shoot better right now. But the problem is you have so much stagnation. Like, watch last night. Everyone they showed a play, and everyone was around the perimeter. Even at one point, Hibbert was out by the 3-point line, and Kobe just had the ball. I mean,
yeah, they couldn't get anything going though.
No.
I think if the Lakers keep Byron and then draft Simmons, Simmons is not going to look good. I think Randall and Simmons are both people who need a modern offense to get their best.
Yeah.
And that's part of the problem with Randall. I think once he gets in a modern offense, he'll look a lot better.
Agree. Did you guys read the piece from Draft Express why Simmons was no longer their top prospect? It was talking a lot about his attitude, which the attitude, you know, like if they're not going to care about the play in college, are they going to care so much about I think that's a like
you have millions of dollars on the line to play well in the NBA.
I think that one's kind of off base. My question is he appears to be, from all accounts, from college to scouts to even his national team in Australia, who call him a Yank, which is funny. He is a very selfish individual, and the attention has to be on him. So it has to be on him. The attention has to be on him on the court and off the court, which is just kind of, in my experience with people that I've been around that have been talented, that's generally not a good thing.
Well, maybe we should keep Byron to tear him down. And then
make him humble. Gotta make that rook humble, man. I did see a thing though I don't know how much I would agree with it. You draft Simmons, say you stay at 2, Sixers take Ingram. You take Simmons at 2, you trade, so then that's one of D'Angelo's best friends in Simmons, and then you trade. I still don't like this overpay. There would have to be something else involved, but JC and Randall for Booker, another really good friend of it, and I really like Booker, but that's just an overpay, in my opinion. You'd have to be getting something else back. So
Yeah, for sure.
I like the idea, but more would have to be included for me. But the problem is they're not going to trade Booker.
Yeah, I don't think Phoenix wants to move him even for Randall and Clarkson. I think it'd take more on our part to give up.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not doing that. No. I mean, Nelson, what do you think? I know that you want Simmons and everything. So.
Yeah, and I really love Booker. I mean, I'm not okay with overpaying, but I mean, Booker is. I think he's the real deal, and I think.
I think so too. They'd have to. What? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. I think he'd be the perfect fit with D'Angelo because he's a catch-and-shoot shooter, like pure shooter, and I think that helps D'Angelo, and that's what he needs. But I think when it comes to the Simmons, when drafting Simmons, I think I think the Lakers are at this point going to have to try Simmons and Randall, and that's when you decide, because Jamie thinks that they shouldn't trade Randall. So are they going to trade Simmons at a lower value once they've been playing together? Or, I mean, his hype will still be there because they know that the Lakers messed him up by playing him at the 5 or however they're going to do it. But
I just want to say that is actually intriguing to me, is him playing the 5.
Right,
but
I would try that before.
The wingspan is a huge concern to me because his wingspan last year was measured at 6'11". And I'm clearly a guy that loves players with great length. I very much acknowledge that. I understand that. But he is 6'11". That's like.
I think
If he grows an inch or two more, that's straight T-Rex.
I think Jacob Root put in his article that it's actually 7 and change. Actually, I think it
was measured. It was just
When's
measured.
the last time it was measured?
Draft Express said it in their article. I'll look up the article again, but Draft Express had his at 6'11", and Randall, even though he doesn't have the longest wingspan himself, he's 6'9" with a wingspan of 7 foot.
Yep.
So he's at least got longer arms than he does in relation to Simmons. With that, let's transition to Nelson. Let's talk about your big board. Or are you looking up Jacob Root's article?
No, actually, Draft Express has him at 7 inches and 0.5. So I think.
I'll have to, maybe for some reason they quoted it wrong in their article.
Yeah.
I don't know.
7.025, but I'm assuming that was the start of college, so it could have gone up.
Yeah, he's fully developed now, though. I don't see that. Usually arms are one of the things that get long first, and then the height catches up. It's not the height and then the arms catch up. It's usually the other way around.
What do you think about Bender now that it seems it's pretty reasonable to expect he'll come over?
The article came out today. I don't know who posted it, but yeah, I would definitely consider taking him at 3.
At 3, yeah.
Yeah. $600,000 buyout or something. I think it's
that's the NBA max of 6.25 or $625,000, which is fine. If that's the case, and he's
locked in at 3, right? If he's for sure coming over,
yeah, he's gotta be.
Well, I mean, I think if the Lakers don't like Simmons for some reason, or they see something that. Or maybe the fit issue actually really does concern them. Yeah, I mean, he's an option at 2. I mean, he could grow into the 5 spot.
I don't think you can justify it. If Ingram's gone, I think you have to take Simmons at 2.
I agree.
I can't see them passing on.
I agree, but what about last year when we all thought it was like a sure thing that Towns was going to go 1 and Okafor was going to go 2? Didn't everyone kind of think Okafor needed to go 2?
I think that was more they thought the Lakers would take him 2, but I saw a lot of people with Russell at 2. It's like split from what I was seeing before the draft. I was seeing a lot of Russell higher ceiling, Okafor better currently kind of a thing.
I saw some Moody at number 2 too. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been horrible.
Well, I mean, Moutier, if you look after he's gotten healthy, he's actually been really good. He's been really good. Like his shot percentage has been up, and yeah, I don't remember who posted it, but it was really good.
Damn it, Ali's so slow. Damn it.
Kershaw. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Ali was running down the bases, and I think Turner doubled, and then he got tagged out because he's so slow.
Funny.
And
Okay,
really
so according to Jonathan Givani from Draft Express in their article back on the 14th of March, so what is that now? Like 3 weeks old.
Yeah.
He says Simmons' short wingspan measured 6'11" at the Nike Hoop Summit in April and the Nike Skills Academy in June. So it says it won't help him play power forward. Well, obviously, to make up for his lack of length, he'll have to display a much higher activity level than what he's shown in college, and that's in regards to his defense. This was number 2 in his article of why Simmons was no longer the top prospect. Simmons' box scores have grown increasingly hollow. One NBA executive described him as a taller Rajon Rondo, which
I've seen that a lot.
I've joked that a lot, but someone actually saying it, man, a more athletic Evan Turner.
That's me.
That's just messed up. Come on, you can't do that.
And a skinnier Royce White, which I don't think most people are going to remember, other than he had massive anxiety issues, and he was incredibly talented, and he would have gone a lot higher in the draft that he was in if it wasn't for that. Simmons has displayed a penchant for stat mongering like few players in recent memory, seeming to pad his numbers and blowouts. At times, it appears he only passes when guaranteed an assist and chases home run plays. Simmons seems to value those things over winning. His porous defense is masked by his gaudy steal and block numbers, but when watching him closely, it clears that no opposing player or coach fears attacking him, which is true. I have seen that. They will attack him. Simmons rarely makes the effort to close out on shooters, put a body on opposing big men, or offer much beyond gambling. Wild swiping for steals. His lack of intensity is amplified. He has wonderful anticipation skills as a rebounder and will wow you with his instincts and passing lanes. But overall, Simmons hasn't shown the length, toughness, and inclination to emerge as an asset on the defensive end. And do I think that will improve in the NBA? Yeah, I do think it will improve. As I said on our last podcast, I bag on Simmons, but that's mainly because I would want him to show those things, you know?
Right.
If you're expected to be that top guy, you should be showing it, you know? Like, and it's not even like, because with Ingram floats around a lot too, but part of that is some of the system, but some of that is he's 18 years old. Well, he might be, okay,
18 Ingram's 19, I think.
19.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He'll be 19 on draft day. He's 18 right now.
Ingram won't be 19 until November.
Oh. Don't you have to be 19 before the season starts?
No. You just have to have a year out of high school. If you go to college, then you can avoid the age thing.
Oh yeah, September. Yeah.
Yeah, or is it September?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was November. Anyways, he's still 18 and a half. So part of that is he's just young and dumb. I don't want to sound like Byron too much on there, but he's young and dumb. He doesn't know exactly where to go. I would much rather having that where something you can teach him than someone who doesn't show the effort. And yes, he will show more effort once he gets paid, but at the same time, he's putting on a showcase right now. And I don't know.
Yeah, so Brandon Ingram declared for the draft today. Big surprise.
Yeah.
Big surprise. Yeah, this is my shocked face. All right, Nelson, we kind of started talking about it, but I think I have a conspiracy theory here, okay? I think that you put Ingram at 1 so you can validate Simmons at 2 to LA.
Well, I think that's probably to do with it, but I think I'm really sold on that. I'm really sold that that Philly will take Ingram. Like, even though they'll probably take Simmons because he has the.
Backdoor isn't about who you think they'll take. That's a mock draft. You're killing me.
Wait. Yeah. Well, I said in my article what the difference between a mock and a big board is. I know that, but that's just talking about the draft if the order stays the same. But I think Ingram's play in the tourney really elevated him for me because I've seen him a couple of games, like I think 5 games, but I think seeing him under the lights and seeing him be 18 and a half, like you said, and seeing him so young, and yet he never jogged up the court, he never gave up. Like I think he's like the anti-Simmons in that way, where I think he played ballsy, which surprised me. Like he wasn't afraid to shoot the shots, he wasn't afraid to have poor scoring performances, and because he knows that he can make them, and I think. I want to see Brandon Ingram as aggressive as possible because I think when he's really aggressive, when he's really locked in, I think he will be better than Simmons if that happens. I think you say that, yeah, Jamie, yeah, okay.
I'm honestly blown away right now.
Yeah, I'm sold on Ingram, but I need to see the aggressiveness because if he really does play aggressively, I think it goes for Simmons and Ingram. But I think Ingram, his 3-point shooting and his length and his defensive potential really stands out. I think stands out more than Simmons' passing ability. That's what really stood out to me. I think his playmaking ability, like you said, Clay, was really underrated. I think he can really make all the passes that need to be made in the NBA, which it did come to a shock for me because early on and in high school he wasn't really known as that much of a passer. Like he dropped a couple times, but like his playmaking wasn't rated as high as it was.
So I like how you. Sorry, real quick. I like how you brought up the high school thing. I read an article from, I want to say it was Draft Express. They went back and talked to his high school coach. And, of course, with Ingram, and he went to a smaller school, they destroyed teams. I think they even had like a mercy rule. Well, yeah, he didn't want to, he's not the guy that wants to pad stats, you know?
Yeah.
So, he's, as you said, he's the anti-Simmons. He is aggressive in he's not afraid to have those poor shooting nights, which is something that I had a concern with Simmons he had those nights where he only shot 10 shots.
Yeah.
And would he go 6 or 7 of 10 of them? Yeah, he was efficient on that. The problem is he was by far the most talented player on that team, and it wasn't even close. Like Blakeney is okay. Maybe he could be in the NBA one day. I am not a fan of Tim Quarterman at all.
Hornsby, is that the other guy's name?
Yeah, Hornsby's not. He's going to be really good over in Europe, and that's about it.
Yeah.
He should have been shooting every game, 17 to 20 shots a game, and if he would have been called a ball hog, whatever. He needed to do that to show that, like, I am the man, like, I'm not going to pass, and that kind of also goes with the whole, he's afraid of taking the jump shot, which it was clear as day. You watch a Simmons game, people would give him 5 feet, and he wouldn't do anything with it. So, I mean, I do like my little conspiracy theory with you, but I mean, I wasn't joking when I said Ingram has a lot of those skills. Like, was the passing on Simmons' level? No.
Oh God, no.
Nope. Is his athleticism right now on Simmons' level? No, not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Simmons is an athletic freak, but look at a guy everyone is swooning over, the Greek Freak. Look at him. He was the same exact way his rookie year, and I had a Bucks fan say that I was lying, and I'm like, no, go back and watch. Go back and watch. He was long and lanky. He didn't know how to control his entire body. He was he was an athlete, but he wasn't this.
He shot
you know?
really well from 3 his rookie year too. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he shot really well in Europe too, 38%. Dimpat 7 said that he was in a lower league in Europe, so that might have something to do with it.
Yeah, but carried over his rookie year. It's like 35, I want to say.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but that's the thing, like Ingram is. I'm not gonna compare him to Kevin Durant. I haven't gotten to watch that Kevin Durant comp.
Yeah, me neither.
I think it was more of showing that they're not the same player from what I saw from a couple people, but he is a Greek freak mold of he's long, lanky, tall, and his potential is not even close to being touched. So,
where does Greek freak get drafted in a redo?
What year was that? That wasn't the Bennett draft, was it?
I think it was.
I think it was.
He would go 1, and Noel would go 2.
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was that draft because Oladipo was there too.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, he would in a redraft, and
that is insane.
Yeah, is it the former GM? Is it Sean Marks? What's his name?
I don't know.
He's with the Vertical. His last name is Marks. He was a former GM with the Nets, and he was with them for a long time. He said this is a draft that you look for stabilizing guys like a Buddy Hield, which that's what he is, people. But the problem is then Sam Vecini was like, yeah, and then that same draft with back in the Anthony Bennett draft. Then if you don't do the gamble, you get or you're willing to take that gamble, and you take a guy like Antetokounmpo.
Hey, that's
you hit a
good.
home run. Thank you. You hit a home run. Like, I'm sorry, I will always take the home run over the solid guy.
Especially in a draft like this year and that year.
Yeah, I am. It is a good thing I am not a gambler because I would always be betting big. Like, man. All right,
Some of those names, that's got to be one of the worst drafts in a long time.
Oh, dude, it was terrible.
It's really bad.
That was almost as bad as the Kenyon Martin draft.
Yeah.
All right, we've talked about Ingram and Simmons. Bender, we touched upon. You had him that you said that you could think he can play the 3. I don't think that's even remotely close to being true. I think he's a 4/5. And the 5 means he would have to get a lot of weight, but I don't think he can be able to handle like any of the really good 3s that are that are in the league right now.
I don't think so. He's so thin.
He's really thin. Like Ingram is really thin, but he's shown that he has a lot of strength.
Yeah.
Have you seen that now, Nelson?
Yeah. I think he's still adding weight, right?
Ingram? Ingram's adding weight. Bender's adding weight too. It's just Bender's a little younger than Simmons or Ingram, and he's a more natural 4 and 5 than he is a 3. And I know he has the feet to switch, but I don't know if he could play the 3 full time.
No, yeah, it wouldn't be a full time thing. I think it'd be like it'd be a cool thing to try out, like to see like where he is, because I think his shooting allows him to obviously search the floor, so I think that would probably be.
That just worries me that you're getting into a Kurt Rambis situation where he was talking about playing Porzingis to 3, and nowadays you're playing small ball, and I understand having a really big guy playing the 3 is slightly intriguing, but I'd rather him play the 5. You have Murray at 4. Tell us why you have Murray at 4.
I think defensive questions aside and his offensive questions aside, I think his ability to create with the ball and without the ball is, I think his versatility is actually really remarkable, and I think that his 3-point shooting is actually really good. I know he struggled a bit early on, but now he's picked it up, and he's now becoming a really good shooter. So I think that's why I think he might also be in play for Lakers at 3. I know you and Ben Rosales don't like it that much, but I think in this draft, I think anything can really happen. I think if Bender maybe gets hurt or something happens like that, where Bender's not that good of an option, I think Murray could rise. I think I like him more than Dunn for the reason that Murray can shoot, and I think I'm starting to value shooting more than just pure athleticism and ability to drive. And I know Chris Dunn can shoot. He can. He's shown the ability to shoot, but he's not consistent to where I feel safe saying that he can at least be a solid starter. I think starters at his ceiling. Sure. I don't think he can be that much really more because his defensive instincts aren't that good, but his ability to recover is actually really astounding because of his athleticism. But that's why I have him lower than Murray. I think Murray. He'll be what Clarkson is right now, and I think maybe a bit better defensively because his defense is actually a bit underrated. I mean, it's still pretty bad, but I think it's not as remotely as bad as people are saying that it is.
His or lack of athleticism just scares me.
Yeah, it really does.
You've been watching more NCAA with Attorney around, TJ. What are did you get to see Murray at all?
No, I didn't watch a Kentucky game. I honestly didn't watch outside of the first and second round. I didn't watch much of the tournament at all. So I didn't see much. I watched Ingram. I actually watched Duke every game just to see Ingram, but I didn't really focus on anyone else.
Gotcha. Jamie, have you been paying attention at all, or you're just swamped with homework? So
I've watched less than 15 minutes of the tournament.
Nice.
NBA scout Jamie.
At 5, you have Jaylen Brown.
Mm-hmm. I think his tournament performance speaks enough because I think he really disappointed. I really want to see something, especially from a whole team that's not on the level of Cal is. I think I was disappointed with how Rab and Brown both played. Yeah, I'm still pretty high on Brown because I believe in his touch around the rim, and I believe in his mid-range shot that it will continue to get better because it has gotten better. I think it wasn't there when he came out of high school, but now it's gotten better. I think his rim running is actually really impressive, and I think his defense he's not that good defensively, but you can see the potential with his quick feet and the way he actually switches pretty fast for a guy his size. And when he does run up the court, his runs are choppy, which does worry me because he's not running fluidly like most NBA players do, which that does worry me. Maybe he could get hurt or something by running like that, but I'm not concerned with that.
So we all know I hate comps. We're not a huge fan of it, but I did hear a comp that I actually liked. Jaylen Brown, if Jaylen Brown can get a consistent 3-point shot, then he's a superstar.
I've heard that a lot.
If not, you're looking at DeMar DeRozan at a 3, not a 2, and
the superstar that the Yankees or that the Lakers just signed, right?
Yeah. I think Jaylen can shoot better than DeRozan. I would be tempted by Jaylen Brown at 3. I'm not a fan of Murray. I've watched a few games and just never was super impressed. I know he can shoot, but I don't know what it is. Like Nelson, have you ever watched a guy and you're just like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get the hype on him.
That was me, Ingram, the first couple games. I saw him dunk and make a layup, and I'm like, okay, yeah, Clayton, this guy is gonna be the number 1 pick. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Murray, I've never gotten it. Brown, I admittedly have only seen 2 games of Jaylen Brown. I saw he's an insane athlete, and I saw that his jumper has a long way to go because it's pretty mechanical.
Yeah, it's pretty much what I saw too. I saw their opening game in the tournament. They lost to Hawaii, the 13th seed. he had like 3 or 4 fouls the whole game, so I didn't see much. But yeah, his jump shot. I mean, it's got a long way. It's far from being.
But it's not. But it's also, in my opinion, not broken. It's not something
No, but
that's
his
going to take.
athleticism definitely helps even that out, kind of.
That's why I have Brown over Murray. Because of the athleticism, Murray's. I don't know what it is. I honestly, I like.
So what else can Murray get? Murray, he's not going to gain athleticism or anything. His jump shot is basically where it's going to be. But Jaylen Brown, his athleticism is there, and his jump shot can definitely improve.
Yeah.
I don't think Murray can necessarily get better in any way.
He actually can. I think his playmaking is not there yet, and I think it will be there with more playing time at having the ball. Because at Kentucky, it was more like, all right, you're gonna catch and shoot, or you're gonna run one pick and roll game, and that's not really enough for a combo guard, which is what most scouts have him listed at. So I think seeing him play make more will certainly. It's certainly something that he needs to develop on. And I think if that helps, if that continues, then he can become a starter with just playmaking and shooting.
Yeah, I think just if Murray's ceiling is a starter, I think Brown's floor. Okay, this was with the context of every draft pick can be a bust. So whenever people talk about the floor, it's like whatever, they're worse realistic. Jaylen Brown, I think, could be a Thabo Cephalosha, or no, I don't even really like that comp, but a 2/3 that is a good defender, just not a great shooter. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Murray, with Murray, I think you're going to have like a. Oh man, like you're gonna have to have an elite level athlete at the 1, in my opinion, because Murray, his defensive issues are partly because his lack of athleticism. He can't really handle them.
Isn't that the issue with Buddy too? Big lack of athleticism.
Yeah, and I heard it. I'm not going to say what podcast it was because we've bashed him before. They said that he's an elite level athlete, which is effing hilarious.
I haven't heard one important person say anything like that.
He is not an elite athlete. He is a very good shooter. He is not a good athlete. He is rated as one of the worst in the nation at creating for others. He's a terrible passer.
Yeah, he's not.
He's bottom 5 in the nation. He is awful. You better be J.J. Redick. And I'm sorry,
J.J. Redick's a decent defender.
J.J. Redick is a decent defender. Yeah. He did very well against Harden last year in the playoffs. Harden got his, but he did very well on him. Yeah, people apparently don't remember what J.J. Redick was at Duke. He was not just a 3-point guy, and his toe was not just on the line.
He was fun in college. Buddy's fun too in the little bit I've seen, but
the most athletic play I've ever seen from Buddy was in the tournament. He crossed a guy up, did a spin, and made a layup. I think that was against Villanova or whatever.
Where they lost by 50, that one?
Yeah. They got outscored. They got outscored in the second half that they scored in the entire game. I wouldn't touch. You have Heel at 7. I would not take him before 8, and at 8 I would be pissing my pants.
I wouldn't take him that high either, but I think people are gonna reach for him, and they're going to reach pretty high.
Yeah, he's going to get overdrafted now.
So my thing is everyone. I saw someone say that he thought he could be a number 1 option on a championship team.
Oh my god!
And it was a basketball guy, and I was like, you need to turn in your credentials.
I think I might know who you're talking about.
It's a guy with a bowl. He's he's a fan slash blogger for the Bulls.
Oh, okay, maybe not.
I think I sent it to you guys in our group text. Yeah, it was terrible take. Yeah, if Buddy his stock can skyrocket, then after 4 games, or it shouldn't, then I don't think that Jaylen Brown's stock should plummet because of one bad tournament game. I've never been a huge fan of basing anything off of the tournament, so.
Remember when Derek Williams skyrocketed because of the tournament? That turned out well.
Do you guys remember Joe Alexander?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I'm not saying Buddy's going to beat any of those guys, but, like, whenever people are like, he's got an insane motor and he's got a great work ethic, a lot of guys in the NBA have that. Like, you act like these guys, like Kobe Bryant, or like, okay, Jordan Clarkson and D'Angelo Russell are just sitting and not doing anything. Like, all D'Angelo is doing is taking, recording videos of Nick lying, and Jordan Clarkson is driving around Los Angeles, giving people, old women the bird, and they don't have actual work ethics, but Buddy, he's gonna be that, shut up.
Yeah. I mean, I think him just getting to this point is actually really outstanding for him, because
I know
he was considered a second round, early first round pick, and then he rose and rose and rose. He continued to play. I mean, he's a great college player. I mean, I'm not denying that. Yeah,
exactly. But being a great college player does not mean that you're going to become a great NBA player. He has I obviously like guys that have long wingspans. He's 6'4" with a wingspan of 6'9". That's intriguing, but his lack of athleticism, because he does lack athleticism. Like he has sneaky moves and stuff, but his shot is not. It's not a quick release, so he's going to end up being screen dependent. As even though that podcast didn't want to hear it, he is going to be screen dependent. I've seen several writers talk about it, and I've watched it. I've seen it plenty of times. I've seen him, I think, 8 to 10 games. I'm just like, he's fun to watch, but it's college. Like, you're not going to be able to do that same stuff in the NBA, and you're pretty much maxed out on your athletic abilities now. You're not just going to magically one day, grow or anything. So
yeah. I think people get too caught up in the moment, and I mean, for Jaylen Brown, it's not just his one tournament game. I think he's had a couple months of inconsistent play. So I mean, that's also why he stays.
Oh, Brown, yeah, I agree with that. But there was legitimate talk of him at 3, and then just all of a sudden people are like at 8, and I'm like, sorry, no, I don't believe that at all. Yeah. You have an interesting name at 6. You and me disagree very much on him. Ivan Rabb. Yeah. Or however you want to. Ivan sounds so weird for.
Yvonne. I think it's Yvonne.
Is it Yvonne? Okay. I knew I had to be misspelling it.
Maybe not. I don't know.
Whenever I watch a lot of games on mute because I hate announcers. Yeah, so maybe it is Yvonne or whatever, but you have him at 6, and I think you're crazy. You want to talk about him a little bit?
I think his touch around the rim is actually. I can't talk enough about his touch. Like he hits these like insane, like he'll be back someone down to the basket and he'll be held up too, but then he'll just turn it around and put it in, and once it gets out of his hand, it's going in, it's money, which is actually surprising because his length he's not really that long, so that's
he's not long, and he's not really athletic either, and he's thin. Like he's really thin too.
Yeah. Yeah. But he has quick feet, so that helps him when switching off rotations. And I think his mid-range shot.
It's a lot of ifs at 6 or 7 or 8.
Yeah, and my thing is if I'm gonna take a guy like that, I'm taking him after the lottery. I would much rather have a guy like Clinton Portis than I would Clinton Portis. Oh my word, Bobby Portis. I would much rather take a guy like I gotta take a guy like Bobby Portis instead of Rab. Yeah, I don't get that one. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but when you said last night that it was more realistic, I'm sorry that I laughed, but I literally, you know how like people will type LOL? Well, I do it all the time. Well, I type LOK because
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. My keyboard app even recognizes it as LOK now.
Just like Mike Trout had to try out for right field.
Yeah. Yep. That was terrible. I literally laughed when you said that. Yeah, I don't get that one. He's tall, but he's not particularly long. He's not very athletic. I've seen a few games, like I said, because I've wanted to watch Brown. Grab never jumped off the screen to me.
Yeah.
We talked enough about Heald or Heald, however you want to say it. You left a guy off your board, and then you pulled a Chad Ford and put him back on.
Yeah.
I'm playing.
It was 4 a.m. thing. Come on.
Yeah, I'm playing with you. Jakob Pertl.
Yeah, I think
his stock has fallen.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh my word. He was at like between 3 and 5, and I've seen drafts where he's at 10 or 12 now.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I mean, he's a good roller. He can defend the rim. He's not super athletic, but he knows how to block shots. Yeah. I mean, I probably would have never really liked taking him at 3, but yeah, his stock has fallen. I still think he has a chance to be. This is going to sound really weird because his name is terrible. Omir Ashik when he was good. When he was good. Do you like? I hate using comps, but that's who he reminds me of. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that as a possibility. Not current Ashik, right? Because current Ashik.
No. Current Ashik. The Hornets. Pelicans doubled down.
Oh, that was terrible.
Oh man. You know who a team that I would not mind having Buddy go as high to would be New Orleans. They need shooting desperately, and he would actually be really intriguing to me. I have no idea why, because like I said, even at 8, I would run away peeing my pants. But for some reason, just him going to them would just make a lot of sense to me. You had Dunn. His stock is on and off. Athletic 1. His shot is kind of. He's not a bad shooter, but he's not a great shooter. It's more, I think, that his team relied on him so much. So I wonder if whoever drafts him gets a much better version.
Yeah, hopefully.
But he is 22 though, so that is kind of scary for me. Let's try and go through these really quick. I know that you guys didn't want to spend too much time today. You got Ellenson. Oh, I can't even remember his first name.
Henry.
There we go. He's kind of interesting. To me, I've seen him do things that like a 3 could do in a 4 body. He's a project though.
Yeah, he is.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, his footwork needs to be adjusted, and I think his range is expanding to 3, which is a good sign for him. Yeah, I think his defense has his recoverability needs to improve for him to actually become a good starter, because his defense just isn't there at the moment. He should show a little bit flashes of.
There's a lot of guys in this draft. I don't know if there's one Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Well, Rondé Hollis Jefferson was a freak on defense, but anyone like even remotely like that on defense this year.
Yeah, I think the closest is Jaylen Brown because of his athleticism. Yeah.
Maybe. After Ellenson, there's the guy that I like a lot more than you is Wawu. I have him as high as 6. I could argue 5 to 7 or 8. I just picked 6.
Man, his stock has gone up.
Last year I said that if he would have kept his name in, LA should have taken him at 27, which was fine. His 3-point shot has gotten a lot better, and he has a long wingspan. Yes, of course, he can play the three. He can play the three, and he has the tools to show that he is a very capable defender. Possible, not I don't think he could ever be like an all defense like even a third team, but I think he could. Like, you wouldn't throw him out at the three and just be like, oh crap, who?
Yeah.
You know? I know you disagree a lot, but I've got someone, Cole Zwicker, NBA cap strategist, who has him at 4.
Well,
now,
I mean,
he though is NBA. He did a tremendous job. I'm not even halfway through. He had so many freaking gifs in his breakdown of Bender, but he is legit in being able to break down a player, like very good. Anything you want to say other than you think I'm psycho?
I think he's going in the top 10. I think he's gonna sneak up into the top 10 just because of this draft and how it's not really that good. I do like him though. I think he's a bit more of a project thing. You seem to think he will be.
No, I think he's. I think pretty much everyone pretty much everyone in this draft is a project in some way. I don't think anyone's. I don't think there's definitely the Cat. I don't think there's a Russell. I don't think there's a Porzingis.
Okafor.
I don't want to say Okafor. I don't think there's a Booker. There we go. I like that a lot better because I probably would take Booker over Okafor now. Yeah. After Luwawu, you have the guy whose stock is continuing to drop in Korkmaz. We've talked about him. His release is so. Have you looked at just like fully watched his shoot motion? It's like a slingshot. I don't even. He's so thin, and he is. Oh, I don't even know. You have him at 13, which I think he was a potential top 10 draft pick earlier in the year.
Yeah, he was. I think his playing time in Europe has made his stock fall. So I think that's not much more on him. I think it's more on how the Europe League works. How it's not really consistent. It's not a certain thing that you can get a bunch of playing time.
Yeah. After Korkmaz, you have Demetrius Jackson.
Yeah, I think he played great for Notre Dame. He led him well. I think he's actually sneaky athletic. I didn't think he was really that athletic, but
he's very
for
a small guy too.
Yeah, I think his shot needs to improve. But I think he can be a solid point guard. I think maybe like a solid starter is his ceiling. I'm not really I wouldn't say a good starter because I think that's putting too much on him. And after that, I have Scal Lebsier, which is a guy that's, in my opinion, he's fallen. I know Draft Express loves him. He's still a top 10 prospect, but I don't see it. He's just.
Oh no, they have him now at 15, I think now.
Yeah, I think he was 14.
Yeah, and honestly, if he falls out of the lottery, that is a guy who I think teams could just fall over themselves trying to trade up to get him.
Yeah.
Because he's had a very rough year, obviously.
Yeah.
But his tools are still insane, and if you get him in a system that works in the modern NBA, I think he might not be a role guy, but
Kentucky's also not the best for showcasing talent, as we learned.
And I don't quite understand everything because like everyone obviously he didn't use Cat's ability, Karl Anthony Towns, to his best abilities, but he did force Karl Anthony Towns to play better in the post, which that is one thing that I did like. Everyone else though, I
remember they said the same with him and Anthony Davis. Even though he was great, they said that he wasn't really utilizing him the right way. No. Seems like that's a theme with Calipari teams.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he like tries to teach them something that he thinks that they will need at the next level, and
he might.
He just goes wrong. I don't know.
He's a little factory for the NBA.
Yeah.
I'm looking on Draft Express. I think they might have just taken him out.
Who?
Lebisier. I don't see him in their top 60.
Really?
What?
Go look at it. I don't see
Is
him.
he staying a year? Maybe.
No,
I don't think he announced it.
He hasn't announced yet, but he'll declare. After Scal, you have Valentine.
Yeah, I think. I think
Oh no, they have Scal at 10.
10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just skipped over him. I was looking. I started at like
thought
12 or 13.
Yeah, I thought he had slipped more, but apparently he had those
Hmm.
few games where he kind of boosted his stock again.
He's kind of got T-Rex arms.
No, he doesn't.
They got him at 6'12" with a 7'2" wingspan.
6'12". That's hilarious.
Yeah, 6'11" and a half with a 7'2" wingspan.
Huh. His arms look a lot longer on screen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just because they're really thin. I don't know. Yeah. You have Valentine after Scal.
Yeah, I have Valentine. Like I think from Scal on, I think it's just. I mean, it's just gonna be like role players. Possibly one-day starters if everything goes right, and I mean like, everything has to go right. Like they have to improve drastically from where they are right now to ever be like really good starters. I think I haven't really seen much of Chris. I know scouts talk highly about him. Sabonis did a good job in turning, which
I love Sabonis.
Yeah.
I think it's more that it's just that I want to see him succeed because of his dad. I never got to see his dad. Okay, I'm not that old. Okay, I never got to see that.
What about Kyle Wiltjer? Whatever happened to him?
He is not athletic and he can't defend.
He's at Duke too, but he's at
Wiltshire at Gonzaga. He'd probably be a really, 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 really good European player. He can't defend guys because of his lack of, and he's a 4 in the NBA. He's 6'10", 6'11",
Brian.
I mean, maybe
I think Draft Express has him out.
he could be a better Ryan Kelly, a poor man's Ryan Anderson.
Yeah.
I mean, he would be just brutal on defense, but he can shoot lights out. I don't think he might be drafted in the later part of the second. He might latch on just because of his shooting. Yeah. Marquise Chris though, he is crazy intriguing because of his athleticism. I didn't get to see. I didn't really watch any of Valentine or Deonta Davis this year. I'm not a huge fan of Michigan State. You have Diamond Stone. I love that name, but I hate it at the same time. I love but hate it. I dislike him very much, and if he somehow fell into the second round, I would not be surprised. I don't think he will.
I think he's the first round pick.
I don't like him at all. Like, I want to take him top 20. He's a low post big with not great athleticism, and I'm not a fan of that. You have anything? I think he'll go. I mean, I'm like 95% sure he'll go first, but yeah.
I think he was in the top 10 early on, and I think he just fell off because of his athleticism. So it's starting to show up.
I could see Melo Trimble, his teammate at Maryland, going higher than him.
Yeah.
But wait, no. Trimble, did Trimble say he's coming back though? I think he did. So take that away. And then the one that surprised me a lot was number 20, Malik Beasley. I think
he's flying at boards.
Yeah, you might be ahead of everyone else on that one, I have to say. I don't think I would take him higher than 25, but I only saw like a game with him, so maybe it was just he had a bad game. Yeah. Who? Let me look at real quick. I'm missing names that I liked better. I do like Chris. I think Marquise Chris would actually go higher. I think Deonta Davis could go in the lottery. I don't think Stone gets close to touches the lottery. Yeah. Well, Draft Express says, "Oh man, his stock has fallen." Diamond Stone at 23. Real quick, let's talk. Do you guys want to talk about Thon Maker, or however you want to say his name?
I think that's how you say it. Pretty
Thon.
straightforward.
That's
I think
man,
it's
that name. How many
wasn't impressed with
Cisco
what I saw.
songs? I know. He's crazy great at highlights. He's not
He's
even
been in
close.
high school for like
5 years.
7 years,
Yeah,
5.
something. He is the high school version of Van Wilder. I just aged myself, didn't I? Oh my word,
Or
terrible.
or Perry Ellis, who's been in Kansas. Literally, he's balding already. He's been at Kansas like 5 years.
Yeah.
He's like 28.
Yeah, Maker. I was watching the breakdown by Draft Express. And
Was
it
it
looks
a coincidence that
about,
they updated that and then he declared, or did they maybe have some inside information?
He declared and they updated it.
Oh,
I
okay.
believe.
I thought that they updated it a little bit before.
Yeah, I don't even see him though on their big board or their draft. Yeah, I don't.
They might be waiting to see if he is going to be eligible.
Maybe. He's got small hands. He thinks he's a guard. He's not that.
No.
I had Ryan Suarez tell me that he would take him at 3, but I think that's just based off of highlights.
Yeah.
He's not that though. He's not. He's got quick feet, but his base, his legs are
really weak.
So thin. Yeah, they're. Oh my word. Did you see anything else that I missed, Jamie?
I mean, when I first saw it, I googled it, and the first thing I saw was 7'1" point guard. I was like, oh, okay. Did a little more research. Very weak. He was pushed all over the place in the workout drills that they showed.
Yep.
I read that he could shoot.
Scal did not let him. Scal did not let him. And if Scal doesn't let you back him down, then that's saying something. He can't.
It said he could shoot, but they showed some makes, but the form wasn't that great.
Yeah. He's a very inconsistent shooter, and it's very mechanical. I wouldn't take it. He could be somewhere. Sam Vecini on CBS said that anywhere from 17 to 20. I think that's
fine in this draft. Stick him in the D League, let him develop
for like a year or two.
He'll be in the D League like probably 2 years.
At least, yeah.
He's very raw. He thinks he's a guard. He's not. He's got small hands. He's got very small hands, so he loses the control of the ball a lot. So like you're not thinking of him as, even if like you don't think he's a shooter and you think he's a rim protector, which he's not either.
No.
He's not going to be a Noel where he's well, he's never going to be as big as DeAndre, but a guy that could just catch oops from anywhere because his hands are so small he can't handle.
He didn't seem that athletic either.
No, he's average, I would say.
He looked quick for his size, but I want to.
Does he seem really thin too?
Yes.
Yeah, it's painfully thin for 7 foot. 17 to 20. Chad Ford updated his big board and had him at 22 or 23 to Boston, and that sounds about right. But yeah, he is oh my word, Perry Jones. How Perry Jones was a lot like a guy who everyone thought was going to be a very high draft pick. Baylor. Everyone thought he was going to be a crazy high draft pick, and then his stock fell because he over scouting on him, and people are realizing now he has major flaws, and he does. He's nowhere near 3. Steve Kyler on Basketball Insider said that he would take him in the top 5, and I'm like, no, you don't.
No.
You clearly are not a scout, and I'm not saying I'm a scout either, but you clearly need to go ask some scouts about that. All right, we've got a few more minutes because TJ wants to go watch the game with some friends, which that's not fair. No,
I got a question here on Twitter that's interesting. You have to rank the following in terms of who you want to keep around the most to least. All right?
So, yeah.
So the names are from most to least, who you want to keep on the Lakers. Names are Byron, Jim Buss, Nick Young, Roy Hibbert.
Jim Buss most, Roy Hibbert next, Nick Young third, and Byron fourth.
All right, that's my list.
I think. Wait. So you said Byron, I think, is keeping the least. I think I don't want to keep him at all.
No. Most. So one is I want to keep on Jim. I defend Jim a lot, but it's mainly because I think Jim is tied to Mitch a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Jim and then Hibbert, and I think Nick is 3.
Yeah. So I think we're all in that same. Yeah. You agree, Nelson?
It's actually surprising that I actually think that Nick Young and Roy Hibbert's a toss-up, but because I think Hibbert's offensive skill is just terrible.
The thing is you put Hibbert as the backup.
Yeah.
A week and a half ago, I would have put Nick Young above Hibbert, though.
Yeah. But you gotta take in now the whole context of the situation.
Yeah, you have to.
And Hibbert has seemed to be one of the veterans that have kept along with D'Angelo, which I do want to talk real quick about before we get to your offseason checklist. Last night in the Boston game, Nick and Lou both sat. Nick hasn't been playing for weeks, but Lou sat the entire game. And Bass, which was interesting. And I wonder, I didn't see anything about it, but I wonder if Bass was backing Nick, and this was a play by the Lakers front office saying, "You sit all those guys who were defending Nick, because Nick is not our future and D'Angelo is." I think Anthony Irwin. I listened to a podcast right before this. I think he said something along the same lines. So, I mean, I could definitely see that.
And now we're running a lineup with Tariq Black that I'm not loving so much.
You don't like Black?
I don't like how he's playing recently.
He has been playing poorly. I'll agree with that.
I want to give him time, but
his ceiling is a backup 5 anyways. Yeah. So I'm not married to the idea of bringing him back next year, but at the same time, if he comes cheap, he's unrestricted anyways, I believe. So because of he was undrafted and whatnot. I think now Lou is definitely gone though. I think that is a big hint, and I would try and trade him for a mid-20s pick. And if somehow Luwawu fell like how Chad Ford had him, which had him at 19, which I think is ridiculous. He had freaking Porzingis at almost. Was having him at almost 1 on his big board. He was talking so highly of him. Luwawu at 19 would be stupid, and if he did fall that far, I'm trading whoever at 19. I'm giving you Lou. I'm taking the Dodgers. Did something good.
Jock got a double. Yeah.
Who did?
Jock.
Oh, okay.
He's only hit this week.
Once the Yankee possibly doesn't pan out, I'm over.
He'll go 1 for 22 this week.
Oh man. All right, let's get to the real quick. We've got about 15 minutes left before.
But one thing Byron did say today, they had during practice they interviewed him. I was watch. I have notifications on for all the Lakers reporters and things, and he said Lou Will not playing was to just give the young guys more time.
Which he could have been doing that months ago.
Yeah.
But I do want to kind of call out Michael Pena I think he's Bleacher Report. My word. So Darius Soriano of Forum Blue and Gold saw a quote by Pena about the whole fist fight thing that Byron quoted. Did you guys see that one?
Yep.
Yeah, bad quote. Well, Pena was trying to say that it was off the boxing. I saw the video. It was not in regards to boxing, and I tried to defend. I'm sorry to people who I tried to say that to because I hadn't seen the video yet, and I was just going off of Pena. Pena is a damn liar. There's no way. That was not in regards to boxing. That was in regards to an actual fist fight. Oh my word! I can't stand Pena. most. Oh my word. Anyways, that quote was stupid. Like, I understand what he was saying, but like, it's the same damn thing over and over and over again. Like, come on, man. All right, off-season checklist, Nelson. You got the first topic was fire and hire.
Yeah, I mean,
Fire who?
I'm pretty sure
Fire
that's damage.
Fire Jim, keep Iron. Steal away.
I think firing Byron obviously has to be the first one. I think that's really enough for the Lakers offseason. Like the rest is just gravy. I think. Yeah. I think just getting some new blood in there would help the team drastically. I think obviously Tibbs and Walton are the 1 and 2 candidates. I mean, I don't see anyone else really being better than Tibbs because of our defense and how bad it is. And I mean, this one was kind of easy because we all know that Byron's going to be gone at the end of the season, and as
you don't think they're keeping him anymore?
No, I think he's gone.
Good.
Dude, I don't even think. Were you saying, Jamie, that you think that they don't fire him, that they reassign him?
No, not me.
When
he needs to be gone.
Who was saying that? Maybe it was Darius Soriano from Foreign Bloom Gold. Maybe he thinks that.
I could see that. I could see them giving him an office job.
Yeah. And I could see them shipping him to Serbia and say, you can be our scout over here.
To the D League.
Oh my! The head coach? No.
Yeah. Our D League's pretty good.
Yeah. It is.
Obviously, fire and hire. We've talked about enough. Pray to the lottery gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've already accepted that the Lakers will lose their pick. So
I know.
Yeah. I won't be surprised.
Yeah.
We got a little lucky last year.
Yeah, we had the luck with getting the 2 pick and then drafting Russell with that 2 pick. It's time for some bad luck.
No.
We need Simmons, guys. I think you guys are underrating how bad we need Simmons.
Next thing you brought up free agency. You had in order. You had Whiteside, Bazemore, Festus Ezeli, Harrison Barnes, Nicholas Batum, Jan Mahimi, Biyombo, Parsons, Fournier, and Deng. And I think I'm taking
Parsons off now.
I'm taking him off now because of the need to.
I think there's a key guy missing from there, though. I think DeRozan needs to be in there. Did you not say DeRozan?
No, I think this is his list of guys who he likes.
Yeah, this is like fit. I went 100% fit on this one. I didn't really try to go that much on skill, because if not, then Kevin Durant's on this list and DeRozan's on this list. But I just go realistic and fit.
Whiteside, max guy. Baze, I could see 14 to 16 million thrown at him. Zelly, you have no idea because of the knee. Harrison Barnes is likely getting a max. You said that Barnes and Whiteside were the only guys getting a max, and I am almost going to guarantee you that Nicholas Batum gets a max.
Yeah.
He is only 27, surprisingly. He is getting a max somewhere. It's going to happen. Jan Mahimi, I like that. Biyombo, I like that. Parsons, we just have no idea. Fournier is not leaving Orlando. I think they trade more young guys, if anything. Deng, I've had Deng thrown at me a few times. I wouldn't hate it if he came off the bench, but I don't want to start. I don't want him as the starter. If the way I'm taking Deng is if I'm drafting Ingram or Brown. That's
you also left LeBron off your list.
Yeah.
We don't want him.
LeBron's gone.
I wish we would have gotten Kevin Love though last summer, right? No.
There's ways that I could see Kevin Love turning into like a positive for a team, and I still don't even think he's that bad of a player. It's just
Brown's going to leave and he's going to go back to Minnesota. Kevin Love.
Yeah. And then they're going to win a couple championships there. So.
I would laugh so hard.
I would love that. I understand that.
Love, Wiggins.
I hate LeBron with a passion. And it's sad too because I used to be a pretty big LeBron fan. Everyone predicted that he'd go number 1 overall that draft,
right.
or that draft.
Oh,
but I said that he would be a top 5 player, within 3 years, and he pretty much was. Man, I just he's a high school kid, that's what he is now.
Yeah.
I mean, Windhorst, like
he's Nick Young if Nick Young was really good at basketball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the list. I do love Whiteside if he could come to LA. I like the idea of Bays. If we don't get Whiteside, I would investigate Ezeli. I do not want Barnes because I still think of him as a small ball 4. Batum, I would throw a max at. Jan Mahimi, I have no idea, but he's already 30, which is weird.
Is he? Man.
Yeah. If he's not 30, he's like 29.
Wow.
So he's like right there. Biombo's only 23. He would be interesting. Nelson did a very good job of saying that he's got bad hands, but if you can reach that untapped potential.
It's there. I've seen the highlights and I film. Yeah, it's there.
Yeah, just throw tennis balls at him all day, every day. I'm just playing. But Parsons, I have no idea. I don't think Fournier, like I said, is leaving. And I think that the Magic are going to give him like $17 million a year.
They should trade us Oladipo to make room for him, though.
They should trade us Mario Hezonja.
Or that. They don't play him anyway. Does he play more yet? Yeah. I haven't really been paying attention to the Magic.
Yeah. I love Hezonja. Oh my word. He's the white European Kobe.
Yeah.
That's what everyone was calling him last year.
They call him Super Mario.
Yeah. He can shoot lights out too, and you play him at the 3, man. Him and D'Angelo.
I really want the Lakers to get a knockdown 40% 3-point shooter for D'Angelo.
I know.
Really badly.
Dimpat said that he thinks that D'Angelo will shoot over 40% next year, and D'Angelo's now at what? He's at what, 37% on the year?
Pretty close. He's been above 40 like since the beginning of February or maybe January.
Yeah, I'll look real quick. My internet is gonna be nice to me. I'm still surprised. Like, seriously. What? Can you? One of you guys look him up?
He is at 35 right now.
35. I could see him jumping to 40 next year because he started out
almost attempts the game too. So
yeah, I could see him at 40 next year.
Yeah.
I mean, if Jordan Clarkson's gonna go from 31 to about 37 this year, I don't see why D'Angelo couldn't go from 35 to 40.
Yep.
Hopefully with a better offense, with an
yeah.
offense that plays together well.
Yeah, I agree. And even if we do get Tibbs, his offense wasn't terrible in Chicago. Is more of just Derrick Rose being a 6-foot Kobe. Or I don't know. That was a dig at Kobe because of last night.
So maybe Russell will actually get playing time if Tibbs is our coach.
He would get more than enough playing time.
He'll be playing 45 minutes a night.
38 minutes.
Yeah.
He'll probably be all tired, and then Byron will come on to the media and say, "Oh yeah, Russell's soft for condition."
Oh my word!
You realize Byron's probably going to be a studio guy next year.
Oh God!
No, I can't see that. If they fire him as head coach, he's just going to be all sorts of salty on there.
He will. They'll say that Byron was hired for Kobe, and he was planning on leaving the Lakers when Kobe left too, and kind of
just like
playing it like that. Yeah.
Whatever. Mark Jackson can also go to hell too with his comment of maybe he can be an associate head coach.
It's funny because I've always wanted to like Byron.
Those two knew to F off.
Yeah. I've always wanted to like Byron. I mean, when I was writing my article about him, it actually kind of made me tear up a bit because I actually wanted to like Byron because when I saw hiring, I saw like form the Laker, and it'd be a pretty good storyline. I mean,
I hated that hiring from day one.
Yeah, it was bad, but I mean, we gotta believe.
Yeah. All right, real quick. I don't remember who asked me this. Best Laker ever. Sorry, whoever on Twitter who said it or who asked. I lost it in all my mentions.
Kareem.
Good. I like that one. TJ.
Well, sorry, what was the question? You guys are breaking up a little bit here.
Best Laker ever.
Bias opinion, Kobe, but I think it's.
I think we lost TJ.
I think so too.
Oh,
Sad.
there it is.
You there, TJ?
No, well, can you hear me now? I'm breaking up a little bit. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Real quick. You said bias Kobe, but realistically or whatever, something.
I said realistically, I think Magic is the best.
I think I have to go with all three of those.
No.
I loved Magic's game. I hate his personality outside of basketball, and we officially lost TJ. He's an idiot outside of, Kareem. You could say he's the best player of all time. You can make a solid argument for that.
For me, if I had to pick one, but I hate picking goats.
Yeah, I would still say Jordan, but yeah. Fletch.
Gotta pick one.
Jerry West. There you go. I'll go against the grain.
Anthony Irwin will not like that answer.
But I agree with Anthony that he would not be able to play right now. I do agree with Anthony that he wouldn't be able to play right now. My grandpa tried to tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about, and he was like, "With all the new stuff," I'm like, "No, I'm sorry, I don't think so." Like,
if you put Russell Westbrook in the '60s, he's the best player to ever grace a basketball court, and it's not close.
You put him against. Did Oscar Robertson play in the '60s and '70s? Right.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook might literally be the best athlete to ever play. And I mean, you put LeBron back in the '90s, and he's going to be right there with Jordan.
Yeah.
Because he's of all the rules, I think TJ just messaged saying, "Sorry, I don't know what's going on." Okay. Well, we should let you go too, Jamie. And Nelson, I'm sure, wants to see the end of the Dodger game.
It's already over. They're blowing him out.
Oh, wait. The Dodgers are
playing?
8-0. Oh, okay.
8-0.
Oh, okay. Who are the Dodgers playing? I'm a terrible SoCal fan.
Padres.
Oh yeah. Well, that's not surprising.
No.
I still remember last year when they made all those trades and depleted their farm system, and good job, guys. I mean, I thought it would be much better, but the Padres, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was supposed to say.
Oh man, Donaldson.
I do have to say that I hate that Dodger fans don't like Friedman.
Oh yeah, I know. That's really ticked me off. They said we gotta win now. We gotta win now. Yeah.
Like, you guys apparently did not pay attention to Tampa.
Yeah.
Did not pay attention to Tampa. And ever since Friedman left, Tampa has been trash.
Yeah, except for Archer, they're trash.
Oh yeah, but that was brought in from Friedman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you guys have anything else left to say?
Follow Nelson Snoop Dogg when we talk about the Yankees on there.
Yeah, we're talking about the Dodgers and a lot of the other sports.
All four of us will have our MLB predictions on there.
Yeah, pretty soon.
Soon in the next. I might have mine done tonight. We'll see.
All right.
Anything else?
Working on Ben Simmons versus Brandon Ingram article that should be out.
When we're done, your article will be on Lakers Pulse.
Really nice. And then gonna try to come up with some other ideas because right now the season's been so bad that you need to find something to write about.
I know. We need to find people that can like. We need better. Well, not better. We need more questions, people, because we talk about the same things every time.
Yeah.
And you can only talk about the coach being an idiot so many times, and about a draft pick that we have no idea if we're even going to keep. Soon, if we don't keep the pick, me and Nelson are going to be going head to head over who the Lakers should pick at 32. Yeah. Hopefully we'll see some trades, whatnot. But we'll if people who eventually watch this get us good questions, maybe we'll have more pods. But they're just really slow right now, and we didn't want to get in on with that nonsense. Plus, some of us were doing homework and whatnot, so yeah. All right, fellas. Well, I think that's about it. And Jamie, I think you've kept your girlfriend up long enough.
Yeah, she gotta be up early.
Or whichever girlfriend it is.
girlfriend number 3.
My number.
All right. All right, fellas.
Yeah.
You have a good night, and send us more questions, people, so we can have better or more discussion on this. All right. Y'all have a great one.
Yeah.
Bye.